Good morning, good afternoon or good evening, wherever you might be watching. Welcome to part 4 of how to create an Access database. You'll recall in part 3 that we created a form using the form wizard. Here is the form on the screen. It looks a bit messy at the moment. There's a lot of missizing here in the field entry areas. There's just a simple area here for the labels, no formatting, looks a bit bland. So I'm going to show you how to change the design of this form by going into design view for the form. Any changes that I want to make to the design I must do in design view. So I'll click the drop arrow here and go into design view, and here we are. I see that the design view shows me 3 sections: the form header, which appears at the top of all records as I move through them, a form footer which appears below. There's nothing in the footer at the moment. I'll show you how to do that a little later. And then the detail section, which I see here, which has the labels which are brought into the form from either the captions or the field names. And here I see the field controls. So there's label controls and field controls. First thing I'm going to do is to change this particular size of the header, and I'm going to point at the top of the divider and just drag down a little bit to give me some more room. I'll make the form a little bit deeper as well, so that I could add more fields if I needed. And then I'm going to click up here, and I'm going to make a little change to the text in here. I'll say my friend's details. Oops, we don't need a capital E there, do we? We just need a lowercase. Now, when I click away and then click back onto that particular area, I can resize by dragging across. And I might just drag down and make it a little bit narrow. I drag down so I could see the double-headed arrow. Now I can drag it up again to around about there. But I'm going to move that area by clicking away and then simply clicking back in it and dragging across. And there I've put the form header into a different position within the header. One of the reasons I did that also is that if I point my mouse in the ruler and hold down the left mouse button, I see a line goes through the labels, and when I release the left mouse button they become selected. And the reason I've done that is that I want to do some formatting here, but I want to bold and make those make the background a light grey, and we'll make the text red so that we can see how to change the form view at virtually the click of a button. So now, because I'm in the form, I see the form design tools, and I'll go into format. And when I go into format, I can bold the text, I can make the text red, I can make it a fill color, we'll say of grey, and it will look quite different when I go back into the form view. There I see I've made a change which has immediately improved the look of the form. So now we need to worry about this area here to get the fields in some sort of better shape. So I'm going to go back into design view, this time an option, I'll right click there and design view. Takes me back into the same area. Now I'm going to resize these fields. Thus I select them, just drag across, and the state, I certainly don't need the state to be that wide. I might just need to make the form a bit wider there so I can widen the form, as you've just seen, so I can easily grab the edge of the control and just drag it across. So let's have a look at the form now. I suggest that as you make changes in design view that you keep switching between design view and form view so you can see how things are looking. So back in form view, that looks rather better to me. I could of course have changed the size a little more, but I'm happy with that at this stage. So back into design view, and this time I saw the date of birth was right aligned. Well, I'm going to click there, and in the format I'm going to say left align. Let's have a look at the change back in form view. That looks a whole lot better to me immediately. But I also see that the field for New South Wales is too deep. It's not a neat looking field. So back into design view. You spend most of your life switching between design view and form view, folks, and I can do that by simply changing the depth of that particular field. There are more advanced ways of performing that particular action that I'll show you as the lessons progress. So let's have a look here. Back into design view, my apologies, into form view, and my form has suddenly started to look better. I might even like to widen the date of birth field so that it becomes the same size as the others. And there's a quick and easy way that I can do that. And what I'm going to do is to drag that field back out of the way, because I don't particularly want it to be selected when I hold my mouse down and release the mouse and see that the fields have all been selected here. But what I'm going to do is to select them again, and this time in the format area, in the arrange tab, I'm going to say size and space to the widest, and there I see immediately the date of birth exactly matched the width of the others. So remember to do that. I selected by clicking down through them and then went to size and space, the drop arrow. Had I said to shortest, then these others would have changed to the width of the date of birth, which would not have looked very good at all. So that's how I change the width of my controls quickly. Back into form view. Ooh, looks much better already. Now I need to drag this back, this heading in the form. So back into design view, up with it, drag it out, widen it, and there we go. So far so good. You'll notice also in design view these little blocks here, the little selection blocks. If I click on a selection block, it selects all of that particular section. So now in the form header, what I could do is to format that with a design of perhaps a fill color. I could select a fill color, we'll say of perhaps a grey here, and I'm going to change the color of the text in here. I'm going to change it to red, and I'll make it bold. And what if I wanted to fill this area, because I see that it's selected, with perhaps a light blue? So I'm going to click the drop arrow here and choose one of the light blues. Okay, so far so good. Now the shape outline. I'm going to say line type. I'll choose just a line there, and the line thickness, I might want to be a little bit thicker, perhaps that one there. And now we'll have a look at our form in design view, in form view, and there I see that I have the formatting in that particular area. perhaps it might look better if I have it over here. So again, back into design view, and I'm going to drag and drop it just about there, and back into form view, and there I see that my form is achieving a modicum of success in terms of the way it looks. Well, that's enough to keep you busy for this lesson, guys. Just to summarize, that switch between design view and form view to see how your designs are going, and I'll show you in the next upload how to create footers and also how to create navigation buttons on the form itself. Thank you so much for watching.